Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. It says here, U.S. law under threat. You have no right to do this. Human smuggling operation. Get ready. This is from this guy at Full Spectrum Survival. He puts out decent content, and he was basically going into how America has done away with the rights, the constitutional rights of the people, which that's been a thing. They've been stripping away your Fourth Amendment rights since 9/11, probably before then. With the whole stop and frisk and detaining you against your will without probable cause and all this other stuff. And this is the world we're leading into because everything is getting ready to go digital. And it's no coincidence that the push of these it's no coincidence because you got the push of these digital IDs, which they're gonna force that on people because eventually they're gonna go around and they're gonna make sure people are complying with government mandates and all this other stuff. So it's safe to say that things are getting ready to take a turn for the worse, and there will be civil unrest because people are gonna revolt against this, man. All right, because the average American, they believe in their constitutional values, which these people are fucking stupid at the end of the day because they've allowed it to get this far. But it's all part of prophecy because the system has to totally collapse and the draconian shit has to be brought in. All right. So anyway, without further delay, I'm gonna play a couple minutes of the video, get a couple of precepts, and Lord's will that'll be that. So here we go.
Lawyer. He was discussing the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Now, the Fourth Amendment is against unreasonable searches and seizures. They say that when...
Yeah, the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable searches and seizures, meaning that for a mere traffic violation, they can't search your car or harass you or bust your windows out because, you decided not to give them the ID because they pulled you over. All right, especially if there's no reason for probable cause. If you're not looking like, in probable cause, that's kind of tricky because they can say, well, you fit the description of a burglary that took place 3 blocks down. When there's no indicator of a burglary, they can still say it because that's their way of justifying probable cause in order to fuck with you, especially with Jake. So a lot of times, man, they don't have reasons on why they're fucking with you, but they'll do it because that's just what they do. It's a power trip. And then you don't show them the ID, then they'll bust your windows out and throw you head first on the concrete. And if they don't kill you, they'll probably detain you, put a foot on your neck, put you in the rear naked, choke you out. And you probably wake up in the spirit world if you don't wake up in jail. That's usually how it goes. This is why Yahweh Shai said, agree with thy adversary quickly. Because, the laws of the society is wicked, bro. And Esau's the devil, so you can't expect the devil to abide by his own rules and regulations, especially against us. So even though they may illegally search your vehicle, if you know your rights, then you can give some resistance, but if they look like they're not faltering under the resistance, then it's best to just comply with them, man. Let them do what they do and get the fuck on.
A police officer invades a place and you have a reasonable expectation of privacy, like a backpack, your home, the interior of your vehicle. Those are Fourth Amendment protected places. They say police generally need a warrant here, except when there's probable cause, consent, which you give them, or plain view. Now, seizure, of course, is the restriction of your freedom of movement. It's not like seizing you and taking you to jail. Reasonable suspicion is required in these cases. Being stopped and forced to comply, according to this constitutional lawyer, is against the law. Now, he drew a very quick parallel, and this parallel was between what's happening right now on the streets with immigration enforcement and what's going to continue to happen after this is over. And so now the entire case is that for the rest of your life in the United States of America, whether you're dropping your kids off at school, you are taking the wife to work, this gives police and immigration a reason to harass if they feel like it, or if they're stuck up on a power trip. Now listen to this, and again, I'm all for what is happening. You're in this country illegally, GTFO, get you the boot, time to get out. You want to apply and be allowed into this house again as a guest, you're welcome to come back.
Okay, craziest touchdown ever.
Tennessee Titans, Music City Miracle. I called it.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Failed to roll down my window. If I didn't listen to the instructions of law enforcement, I'd have whatever was coming at me, because that's stupid. Just say, yes, I'll roll down my window. Let me show you my ID. Failure to follow simple instructions gets people in trouble all the time. Now,
And the police department is really set up. The police Jake. Back in slavery, you had something what they call slave patrol, right? And what they did was patrol the slave grounds and to police Jake and to see if any Jakes was escaping off the plantation. A lot of times, if you escape paddy wagon, the police patrol, the slave patrol, when you look at the badge, it's simply the same thing. It goes back into the Shield of Rothschild, that badge. But when you really look at it, what they would do, they'd capture you and they'll take you back to your slave owner. And if your slave owner had some type of affinity towards you and he actually kind of vibe with you, he'll just beat the shit out you, to the point, he'll beat you to subjection. If they didn't really give a damn and you was an unprofitable worker, sometimes the slave patrol will just blow the back of your head off, man, and keep it pushing, So that's why when you go to hood, you see the police, they do what they call 15-minute rounds. They circle the block and then, they policing you, man. But when you go into the Edomite neighborhoods, the gated communities, you rarely see cops out there because, they got armed guards, they got guard booths out there. And if you do see the cops out there, it's probably because, they're making sure ain't no Jakes out there. Okay, one city I know out here in KC, it's called Leawood, over on the other side. Leawood or Overland Park. Overland Park is a little different now because there's a lot of diversity, but you get caught out there at a certain time of night, they will harass you. This is why if I go to movies out there, me and the brothers at a bar or whatever out there, we hit the road and we get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Because you drive through there too long, you will get flagged. And they will fuck with you. And it will escalate real quick. So this is just unrighteous at the end of the day. And this is why we got to get the hell up out of here. There's really no around it. We got to get up out of here. All right, this shit is old news, bro. All right, so this is the book, and Assyria is basically the modern day Edomites here. Okay, prophecy is dual, it's manifold. Yes, this is going into the ancient Assyrians, which modern day America today come in the spirit of these Assyrians, man. So it says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. A decree is a law that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, that's grievous law, because why am I getting detained because I don't want to show you a driver's license, which is not constitutionally valid anyway? Why are you knocking at the door and I decide not to answer the door, and all of a sudden you kicking my freaking door in and now you got a gun pointed at me? Why? Because for one thing, we in captivity, man. But in the kingdom of heaven, it ain't gonna be like that for us. But for you other nations, we gonna police the shit out you. And we gonna make sure you paying your goddamn tribute. We gonna come to collect. And if you even blink wrong, we gonna be on your ass, man. Because you gonna know what it's like to be oppressed. You gonna know what it's like to understand the pain and suffering we're going through currently to this day, trying to make something of ourselves in this wicked Yahweh forsaken cesspool of a fucking society, you call it, bro. Okay, I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of you people. I'm tired of all you niggas, man. All right, you Edomites, you women, all you motherfuckers, man. All you gotta go. All right, and it says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be they prey, that they may rob the fatherless, man. That's what you damn devils did. You set up provisions for yourselves and you set up divisions among our people. Now we're just the prey here, man. That's why the scriptures say the prey departed not. Even though Esau is really the prey, but right now we on bottom, man. Because Jake, you gotta walk a tight rope in every day. Like, we're literally on eggshells, man. Like, you can go to the job and have one good day, and because you're having a good day, they will find a reason to mess with you, bro. They will find a reason to micromanage you. They'll find a reason, You know, because this is just the spirit of Satan, man. Okay?
Now, Charlotte, by the way, human trafficking hub, major MS-13 problem, huge murder rate issue, and the governor right now won't turn 1,400 illegals over to the feds, and he should be doing
crime. Just a note.
So you can see there a general shift in what is being called common sense. Common sense, according to the officials right now, is that you'll comply with whatever enforcement tells you to do. Now, soon that's going to be coming into your home. Then it's going to be stopping your daughter on her way to work, stopping everybody to see what's going on. Get your papers ready. They'll digital ID you, so you just tap your phone or you do whatever, and they will artificially intelligent face scan you as you're driving down the road. So we have definitely passed that constitutional point where we are now breaking the Fourth Amendment, at least as far as it is being seen by constitutional attorneys. Now, you have another very important amendment, right? That's the right for you to be able to defend yourself, the right for you to be able to take up the kinetic projectile tools that can give defense of life against somebody using a very similar tool set to harm you or your family. So if we let one amendment go, what's to say we don't let the next one go?
Well, the American people have already turned in their rights for freedoms, and eventually this is going to be eventually it's going to lead to civil unrest, because, you know, like I said, the American people, they're not very bright, they're not very pristine when it comes to common sense. You know, like they say, common sense is not always common, and I second that opinion. You know, that's an actual fact. All right, hold on. Agree 9. Yep. Oh, I fucking hate this blue ass shit. Agree. Matthews 5 and 25, it says, agree with thy adversaries quickly while thou art in the way of him, lest at any time the adversary would deliver thee to the judge, and the judge would deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast in prison. Yeah, you got to agree with your adversary, because, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai knows that this is a system that we have no power in, you know. So yeah, Esau may do a lot of underhanded shit, a lot of fucked up shit, but essentially we don't have the power to do anything about it. That's why we got to leave it in the Lord's hands and ultimately be right with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because if you ain't right with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he will allow them boys to be sick on you and have their way with you. This is why a lot of you Israelites that get messed with by Esau, and you be trying to come with that more science bullshit, you get your ass beat the fuck up, because Esau don't tolerate that coming from a nigga, because he don't respect it. Okay, it's not valid in their eyesight, because you're still 3/5 of a man, you know.